everybody, and welcome to Parks Bros. It's finally the day that Bigfoot Rapids retheming has been announced, and it is called Calico River Rapids. So Knott's actually released 3 promotional pictures or concept drawings for this new retheming, and I'm very excited to talk about them. But let's go first to the statement they released today, along with their Instagram post involving the pictures. So it says, a new expedition in an uncharted territory awaits eager explorers with the debut of Calico River Rapids, opening at Knott's Berry Farm in summer 2019 with new animatronics, themed show scenes, new story overlay, and plenty of dynamic water effects. So that makes me incredibly excited for what they're going to do. But let's move on to the actual promotional art that they posted as well. So the first picture is actually on that corner next to the turnaround for Pony Express that's covered, and actually where the main geyser was that would usually get you wet every now and then. It looks like they're actually making them manual geysers as of now, maybe possibly as an upcharge, which is very, very cool, but they are themed to TNT, which I think is amazing. The fact that they're actually theming it to TNT, possibly it adds more of a Wild West, Old West vibe, I guess. But you get these TNT boxes, you can press them down, which I think is freaking awesome. I just wonder if they're going to be an upcharge or not. But we'll just have to wait and see for that one. Also in the background, it looks like there might be a photo spot underneath Pony Express's track, which is interesting. I think that's an interesting spot for it, but who knows? I mean, Disney's been very successful with their photo spot things, so possibly Knott's is going into the same market with trying to get more popular on Instagram or something. But I really like that they are taking out a bunch of that side rock work on that corner and replacing it looks like with full land, but we'll just have to wait and see. Possibly they'll be changing the flume itself, and then you have the TNT that is all stacked up right there, which I think is awesome. Now the next picture we see is of an old abandoned shack, it looks like, with a longhorn skull up on top above the doorway, which I think this looks awesome. It reminds me a lot of old Rivers of America, which I love. It's got some boxes and barrels out front, as well as a bear trap. I don't know if you guys can see that right next to the door, which I think leads into possibly the next picture, as well as possibly the same type of theming that we've seen for the past 20 plus years on this ride, because Bigfoot is staying. Yes, it is still going to be themed to Bigfoot, at least as far as we can see from these 3 pictures, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm not entirely sure where this shack will be on the ride, but I have a pretty good idea it will be before the turnaround right next to the entrance for the queue. But it looks really nice, and I can't wait to see what the shack actually looks like in person. Now on to the third and final photo. This is in one of the caves. Maybe they're adding a cave, we don't know, but they do have the one big cave at the end that they could definitely do it there. But we are getting an animatronic, ladies and gentlemen, of Bigfoot, and he looks huge. If he's actually this size, that is going to be one of the most impressive animatronics, I think, in Southern California. It looks amazing, especially with all the stalagmites and stalactites that they'd be adding into the cave, which is awesome. Also, it looks like it's snowy or something in the concept art, but I don't know if it'll actually be like that. You never know, though. I think it would be a nice touch if it was actually colder, at least in theme, which would be cool. But yeah, Bigfoot animatronic, holy crap, it's about time. But it doesn't look like it'll be doing too much moving because both hands are on either stalagmites or stalactites. I can't remember which is which. So possibly it'll just be his body and his head and his mouth and eyes moving, which would still be amazing. The fact that they actually put an animatronic on this ride, finally, I cannot wait for this to be added to the ride. I think this is what I'm most excited for the ride, just because this is something I've wanted to see for as long as I can remember, so that makes me even more excited. And I really can't wait to see how they actually theme up the tunnels themselves. If they add a second tunnel, we'll just have to wait and see. But I really can't wait to see the just theming overload that they could go with inside the tunnels. So looking over all of this, I am very, very excited about Calico River Rapids, and I think that's a more fitting name for the area as well, and I think it fits very well into just Calico as itself. I know it's not the best fit, it's not perfect, but it sticks with its old theme at least a little bit from, the past 20 plus years, and I'm very excited to see everything that they do, as well as the Bigfoot animatronic, the shack, the TNT geysers. I'm very excited for all three of those things. Hopefully we'll see some more concept art released soon if there is more theming, which I really hope there's more to it than just those three things, because otherwise I'd be kind of sad if it was just those three things. But you never know. I'm just excited to see what they do with the kind of dead space that a lot of Bigfoot Rapids has suffered from, just where there's nothing really on either side, or it's just trees on one side and then a wall on the other. I just hope they can fix that up, because that was probably my least favorite part about Bigfoot Rapids in the first place. Now, one thing I noticed is that the Rapids rafts themselves don't look changed at all. At least from the concept art I'm looking at, they're yellow and black, just like normal. So I wonder if they're just not going to repaint the rafts, which I would be pretty sad about, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one too. We know that they have been at least torn apart, because we've seen them be torn apart from the top of Ghost Rider's lift. So they are at least being worked on for sure. I just wonder if they're actually going to repaint them or not, which I think would be a nice touch. One thing I do notice, though, is on the back of the seats, it looks like there's theming with, bags, and kind of like Grizzly Rapids, how they have the backpacks and bags on the back sides of the seats. I really like that idea. I think it's very cool, and hopefully the restraint system will be fixed, where it'll actually be like an industrial seatbelt, which would be awesome, like possibly on Infinity Falls at SeaWorld Orlando, because it would be Intamin. So, I'm super excited. They finally announced it. Calico River Rapids coming in 2019. My guess is probably around Memorial Day if they say summer, but you never know, it might be mid-June. But I think this is going to be a fantastic addition to the park, even though it's just a retheming of an old ride. I think this ride needed it more than pretty much any of the rides in the park, so I am super, super happy for this, and I cannot wait to actually be able to ride it again when it reopens next year. So what do you guys think of this? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want some more of it, or do you hate it completely? Do you think it's a waste of time and money? I mean, it's up to you guys. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments. Tell me all your thoughts. What do you think the animatronic's going to do? Do you think the TNT explosions will be an upcharge? Do you think the shack will have possibly a figure inside of it that opens the door or something? That would be cool. But it looks like they do have a storyline where someone's trying to catch Bigfoot, and I think that's just going to be the storyline for sure, especially if he has a bear trap outside of his shack. So, man, I'm very, very excited. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, because I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this whole retheming. I think personally it was the most needed thing in the park, and I'm over the moon about it. Especially that they're not doing dinosaurs, and that they're not doing something desert themed. I'm very excited that they aren't doing that, because it doesn't seem like desert, it just seems like kind of mountainy for the most part, especially if they're going to still have a Sasquatch / Bigfoot on the ride. I think it's going to have to be mountainy anyways, but yeah, very, very excited. Hopefully the trees will grow in, and hopefully they don't have too many walls up too soon, because that would kind of stink not being able to see what's going on, but oh well. But please let me know what you think of the ride, if you like it or not, at least with the retheming. And thank you guys for watching so much. I know this announcement took so long to get out, but it finally came out the day of IAAPA, Taylor Bybee's birthday, Tanner Tucker's birthday. Man, today is the day, I guess, right? So very excited to see what happens at IAAPA as well. But that's a completely different topic for another day. And of course, as always, we'll see you on the next ride.